Hey guys, welcome back to Embers and Ash. My name's Ashley, if you didn't know, and today I want to talk to you guys about my second trimester, do a little recap for you. I can't believe that I am entering the third trimester, so by the time you see this next week, I will be in my third trimester, but I'm a week early. Anyways, the second trimester went by really fast and slow at the same time. I don't know, it's not like the first trimester where you're just like wanting it to end because you're sick and tired and just not feeling great. So I feel like I just kind of forgot that I was pregnant a lot, and all of a sudden here I am in the third trimester, which is a little scary because it means that like third trimester is when the baby comes. Like, I've done a first trimester recap, this is my second trimester recap, and the third trimester recap will be like the baby's gonna be here, obviously. But anyways, I want to share with you guys how I've been feeling, what's been going on with my body and my brain, because I haven't really talked too much about that on here. But before we get into my second trimester recap, I want to thank today's sponsor, who is BetterHelp. You guys have heard me talk about BetterHelp before. They are such an amazing platform that provides an online counseling service where clients can be matched up with professional counselors and conduct their therapy sessions online. They have over 20,000 licensed therapists and have helped over 2 million people. If you don't know how it works, BetterHelp will assess your needs through an online quiz and then match you up with a therapist based on your responses. And if there are any issues, you can always change your therapist at any time for free. I love BetterHelp because of how accessible they're making counseling for people, because it is such a big hurdle to get out and try and find a counselor. It can be such a long process, sometimes even months, to find the right person. And when it's done online, it just eases that process and makes it way shorter, way more accessible for people like me, people who are moms and can't get out as much as they wish they could, and are able to have their therapy sessions done at home during nap time, when the kids are out with friends, whenever you're available. Some of the perks of BetterHelp are that it's available worldwide. You can start communicating with your therapist within 48 hours of signing up. You get 2 hours a month of time with your therapist, whether that's video calls or phone calls. You can message your counselor at any time. They have groupinars as well. And the biggest one is that it is more affordable than traditional counseling, and they do have financial aid if needed. It is not a crisis line, it's not self-help, it's professional counseling done securely online. So if you're ready to take control of your mental health today, check out betterhelp.com. That's BetterHelp/Embers and Ash, and you can get 10% off your first month and join the over 2 million people who are also choosing to start living happier lives today. Thank you so much to BetterHelp for being an ongoing sponsor. Again, I just love the service that they're providing. What they're doing is amazing. Now let's get into my second trimester recap. So yeah, let's start with some symptoms. My biggest symptom, it's the same thing as the first trimester, and that is the fatigue. After the first trimester ended, I thought I was coming out of it, but I'm just so tired every day. I usually take a nap every day during Rook's nap, which is fine, like my body needs it, but it is hard mentally because that's, the only time I get to like do things that I want to do that can't be done while Rook is awake. But it's just the season. It is what it is. Yeah, I'm just so tired, way more tired than I was with my last pregnancy. Definitely. I feel like I've been growing at the same rate. I'll show you my belly. This is 27 weeks. I looked at my pregnancy progression video that I made last pregnancy, and I think I look about the same size. I am at the same weight marker at this week as I was last pregnancy, but I also started at a higher weight at the start of last pregnancy. I don't know. I'm trying to not focus on it too much because it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not at a unhealthy weight or anything, so it is what it is. And it's super common to be bigger your second time around anyways. I don't know if you can tell, but my other symptom is out of breath. I feel like I got it in the first trimester from hormones, and it just hasn't gone away. And as I get bigger, the more out of breath I'm getting. And again, that's kind of a symptom that is a little annoying, but doesn't really matter too much. I'm starting to feel limited by the belly, like it's getting in the way a little bit. Certain positions, laying down are uncomfortable, and it's just a taste of what's to come, because I really do remember how uncomfortable you get by the end of the 3rd trimester. Like, that's going to be a real struggle chasing around the toddler while you're huge. Like, I couldn't even walk the length of the mall by the end of it because you're just so big. It's really fun actually looking pregnant now. I feel like it took me till like midway in the 2nd trimester to really look pregnant, and part of that is because I was wearing a lot of baggy clothes. But yeah, I've definitely noticed like strangers noticing my belly. No one's been rude or weird about it, but people are very friendly when they see that you're pregnant. The heartburn has been real. I think this was a pretty big symptom last time too, but basically anytime I lay down, I need to take a Tums. I also have an addiction to sparkling water though, which I know is bad for heartburn, but I love sparkling water, so I'm not willing to give it up. So I have a good stash of Tums. Every night before bed I take one because I know it's just gonna happen. And yeah, again, it's one of those symptoms that is fine. Like, I can live with the heartburn a little bit. The baby has been moving so much. I'm pretty sure last pregnancy it was 20 weeks. I was 20 weeks when I first felt Rook move around a little bit, like the really soft movements. And by 20 weeks with this baby, they were doing backflips, like so much moving all the time, which I love because at this point the movements aren't uncomfortable. So it's just really fun and exciting and encouraging knowing that your baby's doing well, right? So yeah, I've been really loving that. And it helps you like connect with your baby more because they're like showing their presence as opposed to it just being like a thing in your head, like knowing that you're pregnant, you can actually feel the baby move, that they're actually there. Something I just was thinking about today is that I really have not done much prep at all for the baby, which is weird because last time my whole world was prepping for the child, which is obvious because it was my first kid, but you know, you kind of have most things that you need from the first time around as long as you did everything right, I guess, the first time, as in like the things that you bought. There definitely are some things I need to get and I need to start getting them because I, again, am surprised that I'm ending this trimester and I need to be prepared because that's the kind of person I am. I can't like buy things last minute for this child. Like, I need to have everything ready to go for when the child arrives. Something I mentioned on the podcast is that I didn't puke at all in my first trimester. Very thankful for that. Part of it was not being out at work, which I was with my first baby. When I was at home this time around, I got to control my environment a bit better and like ease the nausea easier. But I puked twice in my second trimester, which was super weird. Once was low on sleep. I've talked about that. When I was low on sleep, I'd get really nauseous, and that made me puke. The other time was I ate a meal that was too flavorful, too strong, and I think it upset my stomach. Something I've noticed that leads me into my next symptom is I'm so sensitive to flavors now. Like, I really like plain food, which I've never been that kind of person. I've always loved lots of like spice and salt and herbs and everything over seasoned. But like, I was at a restaurant with some friends the other day and I was like, these vegetables are so good. And my friends were like, these are the most boring vegetables I've ever eaten. So yeah, I just like plain things right now, which I guess is good, and it's a good reset for my palate, I think, at least. Yeah, I can't handle like strong flavors. Like, anything smoky right now is like overwhelming. I also mentioned on the podcast my dandruff conundrum. It has since been resolved, but I had really aggressive dandruff for a little bit there, and I didn't want to have to go buy some like fancy products to fix it because I knew it was just a pregnancy thing. So I ended up using just apple cider vinegar, doing a wash with that. I did it twice and it disappeared. So if you're going through the same thing, apple cider vinegar is your best friend. It's cheap. It's good for your hair in general. I've done it previously unrelated to dandruff. But yeah, that wasn't cute. I've also been eating a lot more. I didn't really increase my diet too much in the first trimester, I'm pretty sure. But this trimester, at least the last half of it, I've noticed that I'm eating maybe like 1.5 times the amount that I normally would. Like, I specifically remember one time Josh served me up a meal and I was like, who do you think I am? That's way too much food. And then without realizing it, I ate all of it, and not like, I didn't stuff myself like I was satisfied. But I mean, that's, I think, part of it. I don't think I'm overeating. I'm just trying to respond to what my body is telling me, and my body is telling me that food is very important right now. As for how I'm doing mentally, really good with the whole baby thing. I've stopped feeling anxiety about the due date. I remember when I hit 20 weeks, that was like scary because I'm like, oh, I'm halfway through, baby's coming soon. And I don't feel that stress anymore. Like, I've fully accepted, you know, baby's coming. It's going to be difficult, but it's going to be amazing at the same time. And I'm feeling pretty mentally ready for it. Obviously the baby isn't coming tomorrow, so I'm not like faced with that fear yet, but I'm getting excited. Like, I'm excited to hold a little newborn. I'm excited for Rook to get to enjoy a sibling. I got him some books to get him like used to the idea of a sibling. He loves like pointing at the baby in my belly. He doesn't really know what it means, but he's also been growing so much lately, Rook. And like developmentally, I feel like he's such a big kid now, and that's helped a lot with coping with a second child, because Rook isn't a baby anymore. He's a little person, and I feel like he's a lot more capable, and that comforts me a lot, knowing that I have a little tiny person coming who's gonna need a lot of my attention. We have in fact picked names. Hallelujah. This was a big stress for me because, again, I'm a planner and I just needed to know that we would have names going into the hospital. Obviously we still have time left, but I didn't want to be rushed and picking a name just because we needed a name. So we have the boy name. Girl name we still have from the last pregnancy that we didn't use. So yeah, that's a big relief. Not to say that maybe a new name will come up and we'll switch it, but I feel happy with the names we've picked so far. Other than that, I'm still feeling that, I don't know, like I miss my body being my own, because it's been, you know, 3 years with my first pregnancy, breastfeeding, now second pregnancy. It's just a mental thing. Like, it would be nice if my body just served me for a little bit, but I know that this is such a special time in life that I only get to do once, so I'm trying to like counter that with a lot of gratefulness. But yeah, I'm missing my body being my own a little bit. So yeah, I think that's everything I have to recap you on. Is that how you say that? That's my recap of the second trimester. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're an expecting mom as well, or if you are expecting to be expecting. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.